If you're over 60, 70, or even 80 years old, what I'm about to share with you might completely change the way you look at your health and maybe even save your life. Sounds dramatic? Well, over 75% of serious illnesses in seniors don't begin with symptoms. They start with small, everyday habits and hidden traps that go unnoticed. And the worst part? These same habits are still being recommended by doctors, TV programs, and even well-meaning family members. Maybe you think you're doing everything right, taking your medications, going for a walk now and then, eating healthy, and going on with life. But what if I told you that what's been draining your energy isn't the big things, it's the little ones? A plate of food that looks innocent, long silent nights, too many pills, or the kind of exercise you thought was helping. These are the things silently stealing strength from older adults, and no one's being truly honest about it. Today, you'll learn about 6 reasons why aging has become more painful, more silent, and more dangerous than it needs to be. But more importantly, you'll learn how to stop it in time. Because yes, there's still time. Even if you feel like you're too old, too tired, or too late, that's just not true. And I'm going to show you why. Now don't expect this video to sugarcoat things. It's not here to comfort you. It's here to awaken you. Because people who care about you don't just pat your back. They speak the truth. With kindness, with respect, and with wisdom. If you stick with me to the end, you'll walk away not just with hope, but with real, practical tools you can use to take back control over your health. So if you've been feeling tired for no reason, if your joy is slipping through your fingers, if your body feels like it's aging faster than it should, pay close attention. Because the next few minutes might explain exactly what's happening. And the best part? You'll be able to start turning things around today, on your terms, in your own time, and without needing a miracle. Buckle up. What's coming next is real, powerful, and maybe exactly what you've been waiting to hear. Some things seem harmless, until you take a closer look. That's exactly what happens with how many seniors eat today. White rice, packaged cookies, boxed juices, toast with margarine. These are still part of the daily diet for millions of older adults. They're easy, cheap, and familiar. But the truth? These foods are fueling inflammation, high blood pressure, diabetes, and muscle loss. What's worse, many of these items are still being recommended without any warning. You'll even hear doctors pushing milk after 60, but rarely talk about how lactose or casein can worsen joint inflammation. Or they'll say breakfast cereals are easy to digest. Maybe, but are they healthy? Not even close. These are wolves in sheep's clothing. And behind that disguise, a billion-dollar food industry that hopes you never question what's on your plate, as long as you keep buying. Take Donna Elza. Every afternoon, she had a few cream-filled cookies, just a little treat, she'd say. Years later, she ended up with constant body pain and early-stage diabetes. When she replaced processed snacks with cashews, dried fruit, and coconut water, her energy came back. Her mood lifted. She even slept better. It wasn't magic. It was simply stopping the cycle of inflammation that food had triggered. Eating well doesn't have to break the bank. Switching white rice for brown, trading boxed juice for fresh lemon water, and saving white bread for special occasions. That's a smart start. Add turmeric to your spices, olive oil on your greens, and dark leafy vegetables at dinner, and your body will thank you. These are real longevity tips, and they don't need a fancy label to work. Here's something most people don't know. Many seniors don't feel real hunger. They feel nutrient deficiency. Their body is begging for zinc, omega-3, B vitamins, but all it gets is sugar, flour, and preservatives. That's why fatigue hits. That's why memory slips. Wellness for seniors starts with your fork, and sadly, that fork has become a weapon in the hands of people who don't know better. The scariest part? Our taste buds become addicted to fake flavors. Soft drinks are so sweet, they actually dull your natural sense of taste. Suddenly, apples taste bland, and your brain starts craving sugar like it's oxygen. But you can retrain your taste. Even a simple 12-hour fast, with guidance, can help reset your system. The key is consistency, not perfection. Eating wisely as we age isn't about trendy diets. It's about nutritional intelligence. Ask yourself, what is this food doing for me, or to me? Eating with awareness is an act of self-respect, especially after 60. And the good news? You don't need to do it all at once. One food at a time, one habit each week. Slowly, but surely, you can take back control. And if food has that much power, Imagine what happens when the heart and mind are left empty. Let's talk about the kind of hunger that no meal can fix. Loneliness is a slow-acting poison. It sneaks in quietly, settles deep, and becomes part of the routine. For many seniors, the silence at home is louder than any crowd. It's not just being alone. It's the lack of human connection, of laughter, of touch. And science already says, chronic loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yet, it's rarely treated as a serious health issue. After retirement, children grow up, friends pass away, and suddenly, the calendar is empty. And when your identity was once tied to your job, your role, your schedule, the absence hits hard. Your body may be okay, but emotionally, you start fading. You get colds more often. You feel random aches. You sleep too much or too little. And no one links it to loneliness. But your body does. Loudly. Take Mr. Manuel. He'd go days without speaking to anyone. When his daughter suggested a local walking group, he resisted. "That's not for me," he said. But he went. And there, surrounded by stories just like his, something shifted. He laughed again. His blood sugar leveled out. His sleep improved. No pills. No surgeries. Just connection. That's real senior wellness. And sometimes it starts with a chat in the park. Now, some folks say, "But I like being alone." And that's fine. Solitude is healthy. But loneliness is what happens when aloneness isn't your choice. And that's where the damage begins. It affects your hormones, your immune system, your brain. A mind left unstimulated begins to decline. And that decline becomes depression, confusion, forgetfulness. It's a slippery slope. Technology can help. Video calls with grandkids. WhatsApp chats with old friends. Online classes that teach something new. But nothing beats real-life connection. Sharing coffee. Taking walks. Reading together. Volunteering. Community centers, churches, book clubs. These are golden for seniors seeking joy and healthy aging. Often, they're closer than you think. Yes, it can be hard to start again. After long periods of isolation, you might feel awkward or insecure. But courage grows with the first step. And sometimes, all it takes is one invitation. Let's chat for a while. That might just be the most powerful medicine you'll ever take. In old age, staying connected is just as essential as drinking water. And if you think it's too late to make new friends, let me tell you, life still has surprises. Donna Selena met her best friend at 84 in a gardening class. Now they trade seedlings, stories, and silly jokes, and say that friendship saved their lives. But while loneliness can harm from the inside, there's another threat disguised as help. It shows up in little white bottles, written in medical ink, and it might be doing more harm than good. Let's talk about that next. In the bathroom cabinet, an army of pills. One to sleep, one to wake up, one for digestion, another to fix what the first one broke. This is the silent cycle of polypharmacy. Many seniors take 6, 8, sometimes even 12 medications a day and think that's just how aging works. But the human body was never designed to handle that much chemical interference at once. Drug interactions, side effects, slow toxicity. It's a ticking time bomb that goes unnoticed. And it's often not the senior's fault. It starts with one medication, then another. Every new doctor adds one more. What began as a treatment becomes a tangled web. Doctors don't communicate with each other, and the older adult becomes a walking experiment, testing combinations not even science fully understands. The result? Dizziness, fatigue, weak legs, followed by falls. And what happens then? More pills. Take Donna Nair. She took 9 different medications daily. Constant fatigue, memory slips, nausea. A new geriatric doctor reviewed everything. 3 medications were canceling each other out. 2 were causing serious side effects. 1 was completely unnecessary. They cut it down to 5, and suddenly, she had energy again. She started walking, even went back to painting, a hobby she'd abandoned. This is the kind of longevity tip that should be printed on every prescription pad. Now, to be clear, medications can save lives. Proper use of insulin, blood pressure meds, antibiotics, all crucial. But overuse, without monitoring, is dangerous, especially for the elderly. The liver doesn't process drugs like it used to. Kidneys filter slower. Absorption changes. A pill that worked at 50 can become risky at 80. Sadly, few doctors explain this properly. That's why regular medication reviews are vital. See a trusted geriatrician. Reassess prescriptions every few months. Understand what each drug does and why you're taking it. Keep notes. Ask questions. Bring someone with you. Don't stay silent. Your health depends on being heard. And medication isn't the only tool. Gentle morning walks can help manage blood pressure. Breathing exercises improve sleep. Turmeric with black pepper reduces inflammation. A real chamomile tea, made with actual flowers, not tea bags, might calm your nerves better than a sleeping pill. These wellness tips for older adults matter more than you think. But here's the danger. Some people rely on medication not just physically, but emotionally. If I don't take it, I panic. If I run out, I feel lost. That kind of dependency goes beyond the body. It becomes mental, and that's where therapy can help. Because true health is not just the absence of pain, it's the presence of clarity and confidence. And if even your medications could be harming you silently, imagine what happens when your daily movement, the thing you thought was keeping you strong, is actually aging you. Let's explore that now. At first glance, it seems like you're moving enough. I walk to the bakery. I stand while cleaning. I go up and down the stairs. Sure, that's movement, but it's not enough. Hidden sedentary behavior is when you think you're active, but your body isn't really being challenged. Same motion, same pace, no resistance. And when the body gets too used to something, it starts to weaken, slowly, silently. The human body needs variety, bending, stretching, balancing, holding your own weight. But over time, many seniors stop doing these things. Squatting becomes difficult. Getting up without support feels scary. Balance goes out the window. And when that happens, dependency creeps in on the cane, the chair, or someone else's arm. Not because of aging itself, but because the body stopped being trained. Donut Sita swept her sidewalk daily. She called it exercise. But her back hurt, and her legs felt weak. When she began a light workout routine, some strength and posture exercises, 3 times a week, everything changed. Her balance improved. Dizziness stopped. She even slept better. The broom didn't strengthen her, the right kind of movement did. And this is true for every senior. Staying active is about purposeful movement, not repetition. Repetitive chores like cleaning or walking straight lines don't develop strength or flexibility. But activities like stretching, lightweight training, balance exercises, tai chi, or dancing, those do. They engage deep muscles and keep joints mobile. They're the kind of tips for a longer life that get overlooked, yet are more powerful than most pills. Here's another thing. Even if you exercise 3 times a week, sitting too much the rest of the time can still harm you. Your body reads that as inactivity. That's why standing every 40 minutes, walking around the house, stretching your arms or legs, it all adds up. These little actions contribute to senior wellness more than people imagine. There's also an emotional shift. When your body moves better, your mood lifts. Self-esteem grows. Even emotional pain feels lighter. And the opposite is true too. Stiff body, heavy mind. Movement becomes a tool not just for health, but for freedom. It helps you feel like you're still in charge of your life. Now, of course, everyone has limits. And no, you don't need to run marathons. But every body can be gently challenged. The key is to avoid letting your body forget natural motions. Getting up from a chair without using your hands. Bending to tie your shoe. Reaching to grab something high. These small movements help keep your nervous system sharp and your body strong. But if the right kind of movement can protect your body, what about the wrong kind of emotion? Some pains don't start in the joints, they start in the heart, and they can turn into real illness. Let's talk about that next. Some things won't show up in a blood test, but they rot you from the inside out. Old resentments, unspoken regrets, deep sadness that's never been named. Many seniors carry stories in their hearts that no one knows, but the body doesn't forget. Mysterious aches, constant headaches, sleepless nights. These may be signs of a heart still tied to the past. And yes, modern science confirms, unresolved emotions cause real inflammation. Guilt is one of the most toxic emotions. It sneaks in quietly and never leaves. Maybe it's a broken relationship, a decision you still question, a parent you couldn't say goodbye to, or the feeling that placing someone in a care home made you a bad son or daughter. That guilt settles in your stomach, raises your blood pressure, tenses your muscles. It's your body speaking what your voice won't say. Take Mr. Joachim. His chest always felt tight, but his heart was fine. Then one day, during a group talk, he broke down. He had never forgiven himself for missing his father's funeral. After that, the chest pain faded. Not overnight, but steadily. That wasn't physical. That was emotional, and it needed to be released. It's one of the most powerful longevity secrets, healing the soul to protect the body. Chronic stress is no less dangerous. It's not always big trauma. Often, it's the buildup of little worries, fear of the future, money stress, the belief that you're a burden. This raises cortisol, the stress hormone, which wrecks your body if it stays high too long. It disrupts sleep, causes cravings, slows digestion, weakens your immune system. Your whole health starts falling apart, one hidden emotion at a time. But there's a way out. Journaling, breathing deeply, talking to someone, even watering plants or writing down 3 things you're grateful for daily. These may seem small, but they shift your brain and your hormones. They create peace in your mind and strength in your body. These are powerful wellness habits for seniors that cost nothing and change everything. Forgiveness helps too, not for religion, but for peace. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and hoping the other person suffers. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing. And studies show it improves sleep, reduces joint pain, even eases fibromyalgia. That's the invisible power of healing emotions. And if you're thinking, I'm too old to change now, let me stop you right there. It's never too late to let go of emotional baggage. Talk it out. Write a letter you'll never send. Pray, cry, whatever it takes. When your soul softens, your body responds. Digestion flows. Breathing calms. Memory clears. You feel like yourself again. But what happens when your pain isn't just emotional? It's dismissed by those meant to help. When the healthcare system itself stops listening. That's a whole other wound we need to explore. The doctor walks in, barely looks up. What's wrong? He asks. You start to speak, but he's already typing. 10 minutes later, you leave with a prescription, no clear answer, and a sinking feeling in your gut. Sound familiar? For many seniors, this is healthcare today. Fast, rushed, and deeply impersonal. And sadly, most have gotten used to it, as if not being heard is just part of aging. But a senior's health story can't be told in 10 minutes. It needs time. It needs listening. A sore knee might come from your back. Dizziness might be emotional. Memory loss might be a drug side effect. But when doctors are pressured by quotas and insurance plans, they stop seeing the full picture. And the person who suffers most is you. Donna Marta went to the clinic 3 times for extreme fatigue, got vitamins and painkillers each time. On the 4th visit, she collapsed at home. The diagnosis? Advanced heart disease. Something a basic ECG could have caught. This happens far too often. Not from lack of equipment, but lack of human connection. No empathy. No depth. And the elderly keep piling up wrong diagnoses and the wrong treatments. Proper senior care takes a trained eye. It's not about handing out pills. It's about understanding how older bodies change. A stomachache could be a heart attack. A urinary infection might mimic dementia. Miss these signs, and the cost is tragic. That's why you must be your own health advocate. Don't accept everything looks fine without answers. Ask questions. Bring someone to appointments. Keep notes. If a doctor doesn't listen, find another. You're not begging. You're standing up for the care you deserve. And yes, good professionals do exist. Geriatricians, therapists, compassionate general practitioners. They're out there. When you find one, build that partnership. Your health is teamwork. They bring knowledge, you bring your story. And learn basic self-care. Track your blood pressure. Understand your lab results. Watch for patterns in your body. With a few simple tools, you become an active player in your own wellness. That's where real power and peace begins. And now that you've seen the 6 silent enemies harming seniors every day, the only question left is, what will you do about it? Because yes, there's still time. Now tell me, how many of those 6 reasons were silently showing up in your life without you even realizing? How many of them did you believe were just part of getting old? Here's the truth. We don't grow old all at once. We age in pieces, one bad habit here, one missed signal there, until suddenly, the body says, enough. And when it does, the bill comes due. All at once. With interest. But listen carefully. It's not too late to change. Life doesn't end at 60, 70, or 80. It simply shifts gears. And those who learn to dance to this new rhythm often live with more joy, dignity, and clarity than people half their age. But it takes courage. Courage to look in the mirror, question your routine, and say, I deserve better. So let me ask you, are you ready to take that step? Are you going to keep leaving your health in someone else's hands? Or will you take the wheel and drive your own future? Because yes, you still have time to reverse the damage, to strengthen your body, to lighten your mind, to free your heart from what no longer serves you. You have more control than you think. But knowledge without action is just wasted wisdom. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 6 points hit you the hardest? Which one will you start changing today? Leave your answer in the comments. I'm here to read it. Your story matters. Your voice matters. And you are not alone. This is a community for people who believe that growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. And if this message spoke to your heart, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Because every week, we'll bring you more life-changing insights, real tools, clear advice, and that gentle push you need to stay strong, sharp, and in charge of your aging journey. Because living a long life is good, but living it well, that's what makes it truly worth it.